Okay, so as we work through these, you may or may not be done with all of them, and that's fine. The first one up here, of course, we have enclosing symbols. So we have to start inside our parentheses here. In there are no other enclosing symbols. There are no exponents. So we start with multiplication. 14 times 2 is 28. All that's left inside the parentheses now is the 35 minus 28, which is 7. We're down to a single number, so we can take out the parentheses. Do I need to add any operations in there? No, there's already operations between the numbers on the outside of the parentheses. We don't have to add in. Remember, sometimes when we remove the parentheses, we have to put in multiplication, but we don't here. So we just have 56 divided by 7, which is going to be 8. Perfect. Questions on that one? Okay, number 2. Again, we have parentheses here, so we're going to have to start in there. Inside there are no other enclosing symbols. There are no exponents. So we're down to multiplication and division, which is the 4 times 3. It's going to be 12. To finish off inside the parentheses, we're going to do 6 plus 12 is 18. We do have to put in the times here when we take out our parentheses. Now, there's no other enclosing symbols, no other exponents. So 2 times 18 is 36. And we'll do 36 divided by 3, which is 12. 27 plus 12 is 39. And 39 plus 7 is 46. Any questions there? How many of you had the first two right? There it is, plus 4. So that should be 43. Thank you. The little hamster's been really far from the wheel this morning, so I apologize. Does that all look better now? All right. Number 3. Remember, this is a fraction bar, so it's telling us we have to do everything on top first, and then everything on bottom, and then combine. So on top, what would we have to do first? 7 times 3, which is 21. And then all that's left is negative 33 minus 21, which is a negative 54. So the top is a negative 54. On bottom, what do we have to do first? $36 divided by negative 9 is negative 4. Then, of course, we do have to do the 2 times negative 7, which is a negative 14. Negative 4 minus a negative 14 is the same as negative 4 plus 14, which is 10. So I didn't make that work out real well, but negative 54 over 10, if you put negative 5.4, that would be good. On the test, I'll make sure none of them come out to decimals. What's that? Maybe 27 over 5. That would work, yeah. Negative 27 over 5. And number 4 here, only a little two-stepper. We've got the negative 5 times 6, which is negative 30. 11 plus a negative 30 then is negative 19. Any questions on those? Okay, so that is actually the first skill that you will have to remember for our test tomorrow, is order of operations. And you can see I'm not afraid to put negatives in there. On the test tomorrow, by the way, make sure you see that little X, it is multiplication, not an X in those problems. If it says calculate, there will not be that command calculate. There usually will not be a variable in there. Now you might see a similar command, evaluate. And in evaluate, there might be variables in there. But usually, almost always, you'll see a value for that variable. So let's say I ask you to evaluate this for m equals a negative 4. Well, what am I going to do with that negative 4? I'm going to replace m with negative 4 every place I can in this expression. So m squared becomes negative 4 squared. Now, what's wrong with what I wrote there so far? If that's going to work, I better put parentheses around it. Minus 5m is going to become five times negative 4 plus 2. Now I'm going to do this out by hand first, and then I'm just going to punch it in the calculator and show you how that would work. What is negative 4 squared? A positive 16. Very good. Now then I've got 5 times negative 4, which is negative 20. Notice I didn't use this minus here yet, so it's still there. Going left to right, I've got 16 minus a negative 20. That's the same as 16 plus 20, which is 36. And then, of course, plus 2 is 38. If I were going to punch this in the calculator, let me slide this over a bit. The biggest mistake people will make will look like this. Negative 4 squared minus 5 times negative 4 plus 2. This is actually going to spit out the answer of 6. Why did that come up with a different answer than what I got? It's right in the beginning up here. I typed that in as negative 4 without parentheses. I have to put that negative 4 in parentheses like that, and then squared. Minus 5 times, this negative 4 doesn't have to have parentheses, although it doesn't hurt to put them in there, plus 2. Whenever we square a negative number, we have to put it in parentheses when we enter it in the calculator. And there you can see we get the 38 that we had. That is the single most common mistake I will see on that type of problem on the test, is they squared the negative number incorrectly. I'm going to have you guys try one. So we're going to evaluate p plus 2 times, parentheses, 5d minus f squared plus 11, close parentheses, or p equals 17, d equals -2, and f equals -4. I'll pause and give you a minute to work that out. So for p, we put in 17 plus 2 times 5d becomes 5 times -2 minus f squared becomes -4 squared plus 11. So if we're going to do this by hand, we do the parentheses first. In there, we have to do the power, the exponent. -4 squared is a +16. Now, even though I said it's a +16, this minus up front is still there. So we can't lose track of that. Now we have the multiplication. 5 times -2 is a -10. Now, still inside the parentheses, -10 minus 16 is -26. -26 plus 11 is a -15. Now there we're down to a single number, but I'm going to keep the parentheses just because that's a negative in there. Now we have the 2 times -15 is a -30. And 17 plus -30 is a -13. Any questions? How many got that one right? Now again, it's working with the negatives that are the issue here. Yes, you can enter that in the calculator, have the calculator do it all for you. Make sure you don't forget these parentheses there. This one isn't vital, it doesn't hurt to have it. But remember to put in multiplication. There's 5 times -2. Okay, so moving on from that, one of the other skills we had was working with algebraic numbers. And we can combine things like 7x plus 5y minus 12x plus 3y. How would we combine that? Like terms, okay? So what's like the 7x? That is a -12x. Remember, every operation goes with the number that comes after it. So since that's minus there, that becomes a -12x. So 7 and -12 make -5, and the name stays the same, -5x. Now we can also combine 5y and 3y to get 8y. So we've got -5x plus 8y. We might have something like this. Now in a problem like this, we see the parentheses, so that should draw our attention in. Is there anything we can do inside the parentheses? No. So then, is there anything that needs to be done to the parentheses? Distribute. It's being multiplied by the -7. -7 times 4y. -28y. Positive times a negative, or negative times a positive is a negative. 7 times 4 is 28. And we have the y. -7 times -3. Positive 21. Now we still have the -31 here. So there's nothing to combine with the -28y. But we do have 21 and a -31, which is a -10. Any questions? This is the type of problem that always has a lot of errors made on the test as well. I think it's because it looks real simple and people tend to just kind of quickly answer it and move on. But remember, we combine the counts. So we have 11 times the negative 4, which is negative 44. But we also combine the names. X times x is x squared. Good. On the test, I'll catch a lot of people that would just put down like a negative 44x and forget to do x times x. Remember, when we multiply or divide, we must also combine the names. I'm going to have you guys try this next one in your notes, see how it works out. Try that one quick. So as we take a look on this one to start, again, we see parentheses. Is there anything to do inside that parentheses? No. So there is something to do to that parentheses, but we have to be careful. What are we multiplying it by? Make sure it's a negative 3. Take the negative with it. So we have to do negative 3 times 4x is negative 12x. Good. And negative 3 times negative 11? Positive 33. Good. A negative times a negative is a positive. So we got the 7x on front and the minus 9 on back yet. So we have some combining we can do. 7x and negative 12x make negative 5x. And 33 and negative 9 make positive 24. So negative 5x plus 24. We also learned about solving equations. So we might have something like 9y equals 27. When we look at this, remember, we see the equal sign, and then we see which side has the variable on it. The left side. What's keeping y from being by itself here? The 9. Good. And the 9 is multiplying the y, so we get rid of it by dividing by the y, or by the 9. Divide by 9 makes that 9 go away. We have y equals, what's 27 divided by 9? 3. We might have m minus 12 equals a negative 7. Working with something like this. Again, here's our equal sign. This is the side with our variable on it. What's keeping m from being alone right now? The 12 is being subtracted. Very good. So to get rid of it, we're going to add 12. So m equals, what's negative 7 plus 12? 5. Perfect. Or you might have something like excuse me, 35 equals negative 7d. What are we going to do to solve this one? Perfect. We divide by negative 7, makes that go away. Divide by negative 7 over here. 35 divided by negative 7 is negative 5. Perfect. Any questions on solving equations? That's one of those skills that we'll keep coming back to pretty much in every unit, and just the equations will keep getting a little bit more and more complex as we go. Another one of the skills that we had was kind of tricky was converting words into that math formula or algebraic sentence. So you might have 5 less than 7 times a number. What's this implying? Let's use x for our number just for now. You can use whatever letter you want to. Perfect. 7x minus 5. The 5 less than implies 5 is being subtracted from something. 7 times the number is the 7x. So 5 is being subtracted from the 7x. So be very careful. A lot of people get confused because they see the 5 coming first in the sentence. They think it has to come first in our expression. It does not. Or we might have 4 times the sum of a number and 8. What's that going to look like? Okay, perfect. X plus 8 in parentheses with 4 in front. The sum of a number and 8 is x plus 8, and that whole thing is being multiplied by the 4. It's 4 times the sum. Then, of course, it wouldn't be any fun if there weren't word problems. I know for most people, word problems rank right up there with fractions as part of the least favorite part of math. But they are an essential part of math because life is a word problem. All the stuff we've done so far here today for review, your boss isn't going to walk up to you and hand you an equation and say 3x minus 7 equals 42. What's x? It's not going to happen. You have to be able to pick information out of a problem. So for example, let's say you can buy tools for your business. You can pay $820 now, or pay $200 down, another $200 now, and $50 per month for 15 months. How much does it cost to finance? So the key here is if you don't finance, if you pay cash, how much do you pay? $820 is what you, if you pay cash. That's how much you would pay right now. If you're going to finance it, you have to pay $200 down plus $50 a month for how many months? 15. So 50 times 15. So you'd have to do the 50 times 15, which is $750. 200 plus that would be $950. So your difference, $130. So it costs you $130 to finance. Let's see. We might have Let's say we have 801 pounds sitting on a 3 square foot pallet. How many pounds per square foot is that? Well, a lot of times if we look at this, the formula can be derived from the wording of the question or from the units. Pounds per square foot is literally pounds over square foot, or pounds divided by square feet. That's what the unit is. So what do you think that tells us to do with our numbers? It's telling us to take pounds and divide by square feet. 801 pounds divided by 3 square feet, which was 267 pounds per square foot. No, it doesn't do that. All you should really have to do is just do 801 divided by 3. You get the 267. The squared really doesn't play a part in the numbers here. It's just one of the units. Yeah, a square foot is it's just signifying it's not a foot. A foot is a unit of length. A square foot is a unit of area. It's a block, but that doesn't affect the number at all. It's still just a 3. That is a common mistake people make, is they'll square the 3 because it's square feet. You don't have to do that. Exactly. It's like an x squared. So the perimeter of a rectangle is 68. Find the length if the width is 13. So remember, our formula here, perimeter, is 2L plus 2W. We know P, right? That would be 68, our perimeter. We're finding the length, so that's going to stay the same, just 2L. But we do know the width. W is 13, so this is going to be 2 times 13 here. Now we do have to simplify. The 68 doesn't change. Over here, the 2L doesn't change, but we do have 2 times 13, which is 26. And now we can go about solving that. First thing we'd have to do, subtract 26. So 42 equals 2L, the 26 is gone. And then divide by 2, 21 equals L. Now again, we need to make sure we double check to be sure we've answered our question. L equals 21. The length is 21. If we look back, all we're asked to find is the length. So we have answered our question. We don't have to find anything else. Now, of course, there are going to be other types of problems on this test. I would also recommend, don't be afraid to draw pictures. Something like this, you do W and L for the rectangle, or other things as the words describe them, draw the pictures for them. We'll see you later. For next time, there is no new homework. I'm just going to double check on a quiz to see if there's a quiz due tomorrow. I don't think there is, but I'd rather double check than steer you wrong. Here we go. No, there is no quiz. So there's that homework that is due today at 1 o'clock. So you still have a couple hours to finish it up. Tomorrow is just the test, so there will be no quiz tomorrow, no quiz assigned tonight. There will be no homework due for Monday. So once you finish up this homework today, all we have to do is the test, and then there won't be anything else until Monday. So you actually get a free weekend. Oh, sure. Well, you get a free weekend from me. How's that? Don't get used to it. It don't happen very often. Okay, you guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, I'm free the hour before this class tomorrow, so if you do want to come in a little early and start on the test, you can. I mean, you have unlimited time just as long as you get it all done in the same day.